Hi, I'm Barry Voss, President of Faith Life Ministries, and I'd like to welcome you to this training video series on how to teach our Management for Church Leaders Volume Number 1 training. In this series, we're going to be going through each individual chapter of the manual, but in this particular session, we want to focus on overall training tips on how to use this manual. Training leaders is more than just reading information out of a manual. When you teach someone, you need to explain what this means to them and how they can understand it so they can apply it. In this manual, there are principles and there are tools of leadership and management. So when you teach it to someone, you need to give illustrations and examples to help them understand the material so they will know how to apply it in their own unique circumstances. I would like to give you a little bit of background about this particular training. It was developed for a Bible school in the Philippines back in 2002, where it was first introduced. And it was designed to help Bible students and pastors understand how to apply management tools and techniques in individual churches. This is not how to run your church. It's how to manage resources and people more effectively and for God's glory. So this is a manual with leadership and management principles and tools. It's designed for church leaders, primarily pastors and church leaders and Bible students. It's biblically based. Everything we teach is supported with biblical applications, and it's practical and basic. This is very simple teaching. We're not trying to get very theological here. It's just basic understanding what the Bible has to say about leadership and management. And it's intended for churches and it's intended for church leaders so that they can apply these basic principles in order to lead their churches more effectively. This training is designed to supplement a pastor or church leader's biblical training. This is about management leadership, and this type of material is often not covered in seminaries and Bible schools. So in this manual, it's broken into 3 sections. The first section is about ministry leadership, where we teach about some basics about leadership and about leadership styles and the importance of developing leaders. The second section is about managing people, because people are the greatest resource that a leader has in the church. So we want to talk about spiritual gifts. We want to talk about handling conflict and making disciples for the church. And then the third section of the manual talks about resource management. And here we talk about strategic planning and how to develop a simple one-page plan, but we also talk about management of other resources like time, money, and information. This manual is meant to be a resource kit. We don't expect them to remember everything, but they can take this manual back and everything is in there that they will need that they can refer back to when they face a particular situation in their church. One of the most important things you need to do when you're getting ready to teach is to prepare for the training. So the first thing you want to do is you want to review the trainer manual. We have provided a trainer's manual for each and every one of you. This trainer's manual contains instructions to help you teach each individual chapter. So as you go through it, you want to refer to it, you want to look and review the material, and make notes to yourself. The manual does contain notes and illustrations that you can use, but we want you to personalize it. We want you to make it your own, so you need to think about some examples from the Bible or other experiences you may have had that may help enhance the training. Secondly, you need to know the audience. You know, who's going to be attending? Is it pastors, Bible students, church leaders? What's their background? How much education and experience have they had? What's their position? The better you know the audience, the better you will know how to teach the material and how to present the material to them in a way that they will understand it. Third, you need to develop a training schedule. Are you going to do this once a week for a couple of hours a day, or are you going to do it over a 3-day conference? You'll need to prepare a schedule. Each individual chapter takes about an hour to an hour and a half to go through, including the exercises, so you'll want to plan for that amount of time. Finally, you need to prepare the training materials. This training is meant to put this manual in the hands of the leaders, so you want to make a copy for every participant in the training. Make copies of the student manual. You'll need to prepare if you need a whiteboard or a chalkboard that you want to use to make illustrations. And if you're technologically savvy, you can also use PowerPoint, a projector, or a computer to do the training. When you teach the manual, you need to follow the instructions that are in the trainer's guide for each individual chapter. They give you some information about the amount of time to be used, some key points that you want to make, so make sure you're familiar with that part of it. You also need to ask questions. These questions are embedded in the training, and they can be done in a large group or in a small group. That's really up to you. But the questions are designed to solicit participation from those that are attending the training. You want to involve the participants by asking questions, getting feedback, having them talk amongst themselves and discuss some of the issues that you're dealing with. We also want you to remember to do the chapter exercise. It's very important. They need to know how to apply the training, so you have to allow time to do the exercise at the end. The last thing that you want to do is you want to be able to summarize the training. So in the trainer's guide are some summary questions at the end of each section that you can ask just to see how well the participants are understanding the material and if they're grasping the things that you're teaching. And this will also help them enhance how much they retain of this once they leave. You need to have a closing question and answer session to allow the participants to ask questions for things they don't understand, again, giving you an opportunity to further clarify some of the teaching. You can also hand out completion certificates. I do provide those. If you email me, I can email you a template of a certificate that you can add your own name and the date and the location so that you can put their names on it and hand out a nice professional completion certificate for the training. And finally, you should ask for testimonials from some of the participants. Have them get up in the group and share what they're learning and how it's going to impact their ministry. And as always, if you can share those testimonies with me, I'd much appreciate it. Just like to thank you for taking the time to view this introductory video. I hope this is very helpful to you as you go about teaching our Management for Church Leaders training. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me or contact me with any questions you may have, and I'd be more than happy to help you. God bless you.